I think I messed up. The clock radio blared. 3:33 a.m. Another night, another vivid dream cut short. The previous images were already fading, replaced by the mundane reality of my bedroom. But the feeling lingered, a strange mixture of awe and dread. For weeks now, the same dream had haunted my nights, always ending with that blinding light and the echoing boom. Each time I'd jolt awake at the exact same time, my heart pounding. It always started the same way. I found myself in a vast, unknown city. Buildings scraped the sky, unfamiliar and imposing. A crowd had gathered, a sea of faces all turned upwards, their expressions a mixture of fear and fascination. They were all moving, some with purpose, others in a daze, but all drawn towards the same thing. A light, impossibly bright, piercing the clouds from above. The light pulsed with an energy that felt almost alive. It was like staring directly at the sun, but instead of pain, there was a strange allure. The air crackled with static, and a low hum vibrated through the ground. People around me were changing. Some were lifted off their feet as if weightless, their faces ecstatic, their arms outstretched to the light. They floated upwards like leaves caught in an updraft. Others, however, remained earthbound. Their faces were contorted in fear, their eyes wide with terror. They stumbled and fell, desperate to escape the inexorable pull of the light, their cries drowned out by the growing roar from above. It was chaos, a swirling vortex of hope and despair. The contrast was jarring. The blissful smiles of those ascending, bathed in the warm glow of the light, were juxtaposed against the raw terror of those left behind. A young girl, her eyes shining with joy, reached out to her mother who was frozen in fear, unable to move, anchored by a terror she couldn't articulate. The disparity was heartbreaking. And then came the sound. A deafening crack, like a whip of electricity, split the sky. The light pulsed once more, brighter than before, and the air filled with a high-pitched whine. Out of the blinding light, shapes began to descend. At first, they were just streaks against the white, but as they grew closer, their forms became terrifyingly clear. Missiles, sleek and menacing, pierced through the clouds, leaving trails of smoke in their wake. Fighter jets roared overhead, their silhouettes stark against the blinding light. The crowd below scattered in panic, the earlier awe replaced by primal fear. The humming intensified, morphing into a deafening electric scream. The numbers 777 flashed in the sky, burning themselves onto my retinas. Then, as quickly as it started, the light began to fade. As the light dimmed, a figure began to materialize. He hovered in the air, his back to the fading glow. He turned, and two faces stared back at me. One serene, bathed in light, the other twisted in shadow, an image of pure malevolence. The booming voice that followed chilled me to the bone. It spoke of things I couldn't comprehend, of choices and consequences, of light and darkness. Then, silence. I woke up. 3:33 a.m. The dream was over, but the fear and the question of what it all meant lingered. Was this a vision of hope or a premonition of destruction? The answer, it seemed, was lost somewhere between the light and the chaos.